And we are back live from the basement studio. That is how we originally started this.
You couldn't fucking wait.
We were waiting
You couldn't wait.
to say that for how many years?
Well, you were waiting.
Whatever. Whether I was waiting, you were waiting. Man, it's been a while. We haven't been able to record. Everything transitioning from the summer to the holidays to new positions within the department on us three behalves.
All three of us.
All three of us moved around a little bit.
Yep.
The kids running around. I'm sure everybody that's watching this, listening to this, you get it. You know, we got a lot going on, just like you guys do. But collectively, we sat down and we said, hey, we cannot make it happen right now with the schedules, but we still got to record. You know, we got a really nice audience going. You guys have been great. And not that you need us, but you want us. And that makes us feel good. So thank you.
Yeah, the amount of messages we get, text messages, DMs of people asking when we're recording again. I literally just had a call earlier, and the person was asking when we're recording again because they want to be part of the podcast. That makes us feel great. To be honest, I feel like when we go a long time without recording, that's probably what puts the most pressure on us. The fact that we have people now that want to listen to us, want to hear what we have to say. And that makes us feel great. And as much pressure as that is, I think it's a good kind of pressure because I feel like what we're doing is a good thing. And people are buying into the mental health conversations. So I think we're doing great. Like I said, I miss not recording. You know, when we don't record, I miss it. And you know me, we'll talk about my little meltdown if you want in a little bit.
Yeah, and we can definitely let them know because it's part of the podcast, right? It's part of the Talk About It crew. And I mean, Chris, we miss Chris. Usually,
the one person missing right now, we miss Chris.
Usually, Chris is here doing the welcome back to another episode of Another Couch Mentality, hosted by two idiots and him. I guess I can't remember what he says, but he says it better.
We stopped being an idiot a long time ago, but yeah, I mean. I think we're not experts by any means.
No, not at all. Idiots. No, but what we have decided is that, listen, if I can't come one of the weeks and Chris and Angel are available, then they're going to do it. If I'm available, Chris, we'll sneak into the basement, we'll record. But we do really enjoy doing this. Number one, because it kind of gets the family together. You know, usually when we're recording, the girls, you know, our girls are all together, all playing. Chris is here with the boys, and it gives us an opportunity to selfishly get together. But number two, like, we just kind of unload, right? We're unloading all the nonsense from the week, from work, from our hobbies, from anything, and we try to relate to everybody else that's listening to the podcast. So we don't have a guest this week. We have plenty of people lined up that want to do it, but we wanted to get serious about recording again. Chris is incredible at doing the computer and the editing and whatever else, so we kind of took it upon all of ourselves to all start learning how to do it so that we can all record without needing to have all three of us here, which make that really impossible at times. So honestly, we can just kind of talk about anything you want. You said your little meltdowns. I think that one of the biggest things I learned in my anxiety journey is that when you are going through something and somebody can relate to you and someone's listening and giving feedback, I don't really want to call it dependency, but I think the terminology is codependency of things, right? You have somebody that you can unload everything you're going through. They can relate. So then you become dependent of that person. Yeah. Right. And at one point you do recover from that because I'm not as bad as I used to be with that. But I think that a lot of people listening to this podcast from what we've heard is that I'm going through that too. I've felt that too. I've experienced that sensation or that emotion or that feeling or had those thoughts. So I guess one of the things we can talk about is your meltdowns, as you call them, right? Like what does that look like to you? Why do you think it comes on? And what is the way that you kind of catch yourself in the moment and then ground yourself so you can go, hey, this isn't my baseline?
Well, I'll talk about the like specifically the text message I sent you guys a few weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, 2 weeks. And a little background on me. I don't know that I take hobbies as what they're supposed to be. Like, and what I mean by that is like hobbies for me become a real thing. They're not just hobbies. I enjoy when I have a hobby, I enjoy doing it. and I feel like I want to do it all the time. And you know this, when we were playing Call of Duty, or when I used to play Call of Duty, I was playing Call of Duty all the time. When I was obviously I'm a firearms instructor, so when I did some shooting, let's say I want to be at the range at all times, like all the time. When I did music, for those of you that didn't know, I did music at one point in time, and as much as that was a hobby, I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it all the time. Then the podcast, right? This is a great thing, and again, we kind of opened up with the fact that there's a little bit of pressure of recording, and we've always spoke about this being a hobby and not being another job. And unfortunately for me, like I said, hobbies are not just hobbies. I take my hobbies very seriously, especially if I enjoy them. Like, I don't know that I would have a hobby if I didn't enjoy doing it. And when it came down to the podcast, I've done it a few times in the past where I send you guys messages like, hey, I'm done. I'm not recording anymore. Like, and it comes on because obviously different reasons. We can't record for whatever reason, or you have childcare issue. I have childcare issue. Chris has childcare issue. The wives are working, or whatever the case is, and we can't record for a few weeks. It kind of starts getting into my head and playing like, oh, we need to record. So as much as this is a hobby for us, I enjoy doing this. So it becomes a thing where I feel like I have to remove myself from the situation. And the way I do it is I vent to you guys in the term of a text message, like, hey guys, listen, it's not you guys. It's kind of like a breakup, right? It's not you, it's me kind of deal.
Definitely felt like a breakup.
And this was my, it's not you, it's me. But it's real. And in this case, it was a real thing. It's me. And I understand that it's me and the way I take hobbies. The hobbies become a real thing for me, and I enjoy doing it so much that I want to record. And when we can't record for, let's say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then that just keeps adding and adding. So it got to that point where I felt like I needed to remove myself from the situation. And I sent you and Chris a text message, a very long text. And I think the first thing I had to tell you guys is that I'm not mad, right? Because usually you guys think I'm mad when that happens.
Why you mad, bro?
I'm not, I had to specify, like, hey, listen, guys, I'm not mad. It's not you guys, it's nothing that you guys have done. It's nothing that has happened. It's just in my head, I wanted to record, and it just wasn't happening for whatever the reason may be. It wasn't happening. And I feel like once we started putting out this product, and we get this feedback that we're getting very often, and people are, oh, when are you recording? It starts having a little bit of pressure to it. And you kind of have to feed the streets, in the sense that you have to, if you're putting out product, you got to continue putting out product. And when we stop putting out that product, then I don't know that I want to be part of that. I like consistency. And that's what I said in the text message. Like, I like consistency, and not having that consistency gets to me. So if I don't see a way of having the consistency, then I just don't want to do it. So I remove myself so I don't have that in the back of my head, like, oh, we have to record. We haven't recorded in 2 weeks. We haven't recorded in 3 weeks. So I kind of send you guys the text like, hey, listen, guys, I'm going to remove myself because we don't have the consistency that I would like to have. And I understand we all have lives. We all have kids. We all have wives. We all have jobs. So I understand life gets in the way. So my meltdown was like, hey, I'm done recording. Obviously, I'm not done recording because here we are.
Talk about it, baby.
With another episode talking about it.
But let's translate that not just for this situation, but with other things in life, right? I mean, I can think of, like, let's say 2 or 3 instances where something like that would get to me and I would want to remove myself, right?
Of course.
It could be relationships. It could be your job. I haven't really got this position. I've been working my ass off. I'm doing this. And then all of a sudden you want to quit your career.
We know all too well.
We do know that all too well. So, and we've discussed that a little bit.
Did I not send you a resignation letter not too long ago?
You did. You did send me a resignation letter like I was the fucking chief of the department. I was like, first of all, it sounds very chat GPT-ish. I don't know what this 6, 7. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like that's the right time to say that. I was like, I don't know why you're sending me this letter, but you're not resigning. Number one. And this maybe this is your thing. Maybe this is your thing because it seems like maybe that's how you escape the uncomfortable feelings or the confrontation or not letting yourself get so upset because you don't want to get to that. So then you try to logistically and what's the word I'm looking for? like you craft the way, right? You craft the way to not come off as, I don't want to fucking do this because of A, B, and C. You kind of matured, and you can honestly give yourself a little bit of credit for not going, guys, you know what? I've been fucking asking you every week to record. Y'all don't want to record. I don't want to fucking do this. You didn't do that. You logistically, tactically is the word I'm maybe looking for. Tactically thought about, about what you wanted to say, and you said it politely,
which is very hard for me.
It is.
Knowing you guys that know me,
I know you.
It's very hard for me to be polite,
and it takes time, and I'm not used to that either. I'm not used to like the shutdown.
Me being polite?
No, that too. I'm not used to your shutdown because like many people have responded into our DMs. I'm the kind of person, and I'm getting better at it too. But I'm the kind of person that there's a problem right now, I want to fix it right now. I don't want to think about it later or calm down. I don't want to do none of that. I want to do it now.
Yeah, that's
a recipe for disaster. And we've been transparent. I think we might have mentioned it in one of the podcasts that one time that you and I had a little falling out during the recording of one. It
didn't make it to the episode.
It didn't make it to the episode.
We all three of us had a falling out that day.
We had a falling out. I think there was just a lot of, like you said, pressure. We were both tired. There was different views that we had to discuss. We got to be on the same page. But I feel like it happens whenever you're in a relationship all the time. Like my wife and I will talk about something, and I know how she is. And I'm expecting her to bend. Expectations are in the military. We say expectations get you killed.
Yeah.
Right. But you have these false expectations of people, and the only way you get around those is if you get to know them. Right. So I think the biggest thing for us was to say, you know what? Whoever can make it on Friday, great. That's when we usually record. If you can't make it, you can't make it. Whether it was me, Chris, you, whoever, we got to get back in here. So that's kind of what we wanted to talk about today. Just a little bit of, hey, let's get back on the tracks. Let's start recording. Let's start chit-chatting about what we're looking to do in the near future. We've had people reaching out about sponsorships. That's great to talk about. We had Joe Bart donate some money to start buying some equipment. His son wants to
thank you for the donation.
Yeah, they want to do like one of those sound things for the beginning, the intro song. His son Wee is an incredible bass player in a band that's very well known.
So they want to work an intro for us.
So they're all trying to do some cool stuff, So I don't know. I feel like we got so many good things, but one of the things that we got to talk about and grow from is just how do we go to the next step?
But that's but that's one of the things, like when it comes to the recording aspect of things. Right now, we don't have any sponsors, so we don't have the pressure of having to record. But I feel like once you do have sponsors, like full-time sponsors, right? That which we've spoken about, and people have reached out to us about potentially sponsoring us like full-time. When you have that kind of commitment with somebody, whatever company that is, which we've spoken about different companies that we have spoken to, you have to kind of put out that product. And that's what I'm saying. That's when the consistency comes into play. Like, yes, it's a hobby, but there's going to be a point where it's not just going to be a hobby. When people are investing in a product, they want to see that product flourish. And how do we flourish if we're not putting out material?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to change too. Like, I think that we're going to try to play around with the idea of going from an hour podcast, like a 30-minute, 45, depending on if somebody's here. It's so much easier to do a podcast when you have a guest,
100%.
When you can kind of go into a world that you have no idea of what it is, and explanations and, just vulnerability. I mean, I think that's beautiful. They listen to us all the time, and I give people credit who do a podcast every day, every other day, every week, talking about themselves. Like, I mean, I could tell you shit all day long about me that I'm going through now in my life with so many changes this year, from the Delta thing to the new job, to my son getting older, to, issues with my ex and our child, growing up and getting older. And do we want to give her a phone and this and that? It's just a lot of stuff and how you handle that. So I think we can talk about ourselves all day long, but the reality is, we want to be able to share that with people and kind of hop back on the train. So I don't know. I think one of the things we can talk about, besides your meltdown, because I think that's normal. I think we all have moments where we do that. How have you been feeling? How have you been feeling with you got a lot going on too, man. You're waiting for some pretty big results. You just also moved positions within the job.
Yet again, the second time this year.
Hey, I mean, that's a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah. I mean, I think the job itself, I'm enjoying it again. I'm back to wanting to be at work again. I'm in a place where I feel like I'm valued. My input is valued. My time on this job is valued. And not saying that wasn't the case in other places. I just feel like now I'm in a good spot. I'm in a good spot. So whether the results are what I would like them to be, which God knows I would like my results coming out hopefully next week to be as great as I'm thinking they're going to be. But if they're not, it's not going to be the end of the world. Obviously, there's going to be disappointment, which I think it'll happen to anybody. I don't think that anyone that takes a test ever and doesn't get the results that they would like to get is going to be happy about it, right? Especially if you put in work.
What were your feelings like leaving one unit to go for the other one? Like, was that, somebody maybe out there listening right now, like contemplating changing their job or leaving their job? Like, why did you leave your job? Is it always for a better opportunity? Because sometimes it's not. Sometimes we do I know it's the stupidest thing, and I get it, and it's true. The grass ain't always greener on the side, but sometimes you just got to try it out, man. You just got to change things up, whether they're green or not. It is an opportunity for you to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, including myself, we stay in such a place for such a long time because you are comfortable. And then you have to look at it and go back to that saying, hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. And, I do believe that. I do believe that because we were both born in a different country. And how difficult was it to find food at times or have food in the fridge or share your room with your siblings? It was me and my brothers and in one room. And it's like, now I have a whole house, but I want more.
Yeah.
What were your feelings leading up to moving to this new spot that you're in now?
I mean, it was
emotion.
It was nerve-wracking, I would say, in a sense that I left patrol, obviously, and went to highway, and highway was great. I ended up deciding to go back to patrol, but just in a different precinct. And going back to patrol from highway was a little nerve-wracking because I was already removed from patrol for a little bit, and you kind of get used to the life already, like a different lifestyle, a different way, different call volumes, different calls. Obviously, you're not dealing with domestics. You are, but not as often.
Capacity, right.
It's like people call, like a third-party caller. Oh, I saw somebody arguing in the middle of the highway. By the time you get there, they're not there. So you're not really actually dealing with a domestic, or
going to a house versus what are the dangers going to a house?
To a party where everybody's fighting and stuff like that, which we normally see on patrol. So not having those calls for a while, you kind of get used to okay, I'm not answering those calls.
Yeah. And
then having to go back to another place where you feel like you're going to get those calls because that's what the nature of the beast is it was nerve-wracking for sure. It took me, I would say, maybe a month and a half for me to feel like, okay, I've been doing this for.
I remember calling you, going, "Hey." Every day I was like, "What do you think? Are you excited? You like your crew? You like your team? You like your?" I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm making the right decision. I don't know, and now I see you out there, and you're helping people. Although you've been removed from patrol for a little time, not much, but just a little time. And then going back, I feel like they look up to you and they go, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? I think that mentorship is kind of important, especially with so many new people on the job right now. I think it's nice to have somebody who's got 10 years on the job and a different way of handling calls might be helpful at times.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would tell you if there's one thing, it's the mentorship. I came back to patrol and my mentality is be humble, right? You can learn something from anybody. Somebody that has been on this job for 2 weeks, somebody that has been on this job for 2 months, a year, 2 years. Doesn't mean that because I've been here for 10 years, I can't learn something from them.
Of course.
And I do. I try to learn from anybody at any point in time. If you have input, I would like to hear it, obviously, when we're on patrol. So I think the mentorship and people calling me on the side regarding a call they had and asking for my input, that happens quite often. And I enjoy that because I get to help somebody that is asking for help. And just like mental health, asking for help is not always the easiest thing to do, right? Especially on this job where it's very egocentric and it's very alpha job. So asking for help is not the greatest thing to do. But when people do ask for help, and I always tell the people that I work with, listen, I'm here to help. If you don't need my help, it's fine. You're not going to hear from me. If you need my help, give me a buzz. I will always answer my phone. I can text, I can call, whatever it is that you need. If you call me and I don't know the answer to the question, I will help you get that answer. So I got people that can potentially answer the question. So I'm not telling you that I know it all. I'm just telling you that I will help you get to where you need to get.
What about you? Like, what are you doing right now to work on your mental health, right? Or, I mean, obviously, I know your physical health. Love jiu-jitsu, and you come down here and you work out, and, you know, you have the dog that you go outside with and play and the kids and stuff. But, like, for example, today, right, you're in your little funk, and I'm like, yo, what's up, dog? I'm not really in the mood. But then I'm like, you want to record? I don't know. And then you just go, yeah, come on, we'll record and we'll figure it out. Like, what do you think gets you out of your funk? You're like, you know, in the sense of mental health, like, what are you doing to bring yourself back into the moment these days?
I'll tell you, usually what I do is time. I just give it time. I don't fight it. I just give it time. Today when you called, I was like, I don't know, I don't want to record. I don't feel like I wanted to do this today. I wasn't feeling it. And then, like you said, on the phone, I would go, hey, just come, you know, we'll figure it out. We'll record. And here we are recording. I think sometimes I need to get out of my own head. And remember, we were talking about the Veterans Day parade, where I told the person that invited me, I go, hey, usually is Matias invited me out. And when I say no, he usually just shows up to the house and picks me up. So I go, this time it's probably going to be me, because I thought I was going to have the day off. I didn't, which is fine. I didn't ask for the day off, and I guess I needed to put in for it. But in my mind, it was like, I'm going to get you out of the house that day. But you had to work too. Yeah,
nah, Daddy had to go to work. Hey,
but
listen,
you had to go to work
happy
too.
Veterans Day. And
belated.
Happy belated Veterans Day. And happy birthday to all my devil dogs out there. All right? Listen, you got to give the respect to the United States Marine Corps, all right? 10 November 1775. Air Force. Relax, okay?
Sure.
Relax.
Marine Corps.
I had to work, you know, and it was nice. It was nice to go in and you had people bringing stuff to the precinct. You know, somebody dropped off a big cake for Veterans Day and cookies.
I was there.
Did you?
You told me to eat.
And did you eat a cookie?
I did not.
Did I eat a cookie?
You did.
You're damn right I did. It's our birthday and it's Veterans Day. I'm going to have a cookie. I do not say no to cookies, if you can tell. But I just want to talk about...
I want to talk about something. I want to turn it back to you, because you made a big change this year too. You went from a position that you held for a good 5 years, 6 years, right? And you went into a unit at a precinct, how was that transition for you? Because you were on a job that was Monday through Friday, where you were teaching future officers, and now you leave that spot for whatever reason. And I kept telling you the grass is not always green on the other side.
It's fucking green. It is fucking green, baby. Daddy is happy. I'm happy. Man, I'm happy. I'm not going to lie. I'm really happy. I love working at the academy. It was great. It was a really good time. You know, I went there almost 6 years ago. January would have been 6 years.
Yeah.
So I was there for, let's call it 5 and a half years. And you're right. You know, consistency, man. Monday to Friday, weekends off, 7 to 3, additional time off when you need it. It's an incredible unit for, you know, flexibility for family. You're getting to train the future recruits. And there was something that happened. I told you there was a number one, I've always wanted to be a detective, investigator, whatever. You always hear that when you're younger, like Detective Ferreira or Captain this. And I was always like, that would be kind of fascinating to me, like looking into stuff and investigating and whatnot. And then as I got into this whole anxiety journey, I was like, wow, like that might be a good position for me, for somebody who overthinks the shit out of everything. Like, you give me a case, I'm going to find every freaking nook and little crack that I can, you know, get into, that I can figure this out. Or maybe not. Maybe I won't be a good detective one day. Who knows? But I knew I wanted to do something different. So I put my papers in, and that was scary. That was very scary, because I was used to parking in the exact same parking spot, going to the exact same restaurants to pick up lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I went to the same track to walk around. I went to the same gym to work out in. Like, there was a lot of mixed energy that I held there for years. And I think around last year, or maybe even a year and a half ago, I started getting the itch that I'm like, You go to graduation, you see these cops graduating, right? Because now they're PPOs, not recruits. And you're almost like,
What's a PPO?
The probationary police officer, right? So you got a probationary police officer, which they're still cops. They're still on probation.
They're cops.
They're cops.
You're a full-time cop at this point.
They're graduating.
You're not a recruit no more.
Right. They got their shield. They got their gun. They're going out there to make a difference. I mean, they're going to start their field training program. And people like you are going to be guiding them through what it's like to answer the calls rather than just sitting in the classroom and, going through role plays and whatnot. And I was so excited for them. I was like, man, I kind of missed that. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, did I maybe leave patrol a little too soon? Did I not have enough? Like, what is it? What is it that it's like I said earlier, we always need more. So it's not like I was ungrateful, and I like the people I work with, and there was good days and bad days, just like any other unit.
Any other place.
But overall, it was good. And I feel like I just missed the camaraderie of like patrol. Everyone going to each other's calls, backing up each other's calls, helping each other out, like kind of building a relationship through the rut, like we do in the military. I've heard that from a lot of veterans, that they need to feel that like camaraderie within a unit.
Yeah.
So when I went to this unit, I'm not going to lie to you, man, I was terrified. I was like, it's never going to fucking happen. I've been waiting. It's been months. It's been, years now. Like,
I heard it every time.
Every fucking day you heard it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I guess this shit's never going to happen. And I started being negative, and that's not me. You know that. I'm always smiling. I'm always positive.
I had to talk you out of your own head, too.
What's that?
I had to talk you out of your own head because you would get in those, like, downward spiral where I had to tell you, hey, bro, like, it's God's timing. Yeah. I understand you want to go right now, but and we were just talking about that upstairs about my results, right? And how it'll be like, listen, if it's not my time, it's just not my time. But and what was the first thing you said when I said, if it's not my time, it's not my time? You go, it's God's time.
Common time.
It's not your time. It's God's time. Don't talk like that. And I felt like I had to do that with you when it came to moving back to the unit that you're in now, because of the uncertainty and the fact that you were waiting and waiting and waiting. I was like, just keep waiting, bro. There's nothing.
We talked about that, the needing to have control of things as a police officer, as firefighters, EMS, I mean, it just, anybody in this first responder world, we're used to having control of shit. And when things are out of control, whether it's a transfer, a promotion, a movement, or whatever, it's always like, when, right? It's like an anticipation. It's no different than being on patrol. And in the beginning, even now, I still feel it when I'm doing patrol or backfilling or something like that. And I'm waiting for the radio just for my call sign to come over. I'm like anticipating. And then you're like, all right, I got to go. And then you're doing a lot in your human anatomy, right? There's a lot of things happening in your body with, cortisol dumps, right? You have adrenaline going when you go into a call. You get there, boom, now you come back down and I'm tired. So you drink a Red Bull or a Monster or have a coffee or a second coffee or a third coffee. And I'm going to get to a call and I got to get something to eat, and I got to get Burger King because I don't have time to wait. Like, there's a lot of changes that were happening. And then when I got the call and I got the messages from people like, why the fuck would you want to do that? And I'm like, dude, I need some excitement in my life, man. I want to change things up and I'm just ready for that. And I got to the unit and I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, like my thoughts were like consuming me because I was in a car by myself. Like the first day that I got put on back in my unit, in the community support unit, I got backfilled, so I was doing patrol for my first day. You remember me telling
right
me?
Away.
So I've been out of patrol for, let's call it 6 years, because I was in CRB for a little while.
Yeah.
I hadn't answered a call in 6 years, the Community Relation Bureau. And so I went from patrol on the midnights in the first to community relations at the first precinct during the day. So actually, patrol during the day, patrol during the nights, community relations in the first during the days and nights. Right. And then the academy, I've been very, very far removed from answering 911 calls. And the first one that I get, I go to the firehouse to get my key fobs program. Okay. I meet up with Brian because Brian knows the people there. I go inside, I'm getting my key fob. I'm like, wow, like seeing everybody again gets me excited. I'm like, the fire chief, people from the second are there. Like, I'm here. And then I get a call, and I'm like, ooh, that's me. Yeah, go ahead, send it over. They're like, you had 2 prior, right?
It's like literally being out of the academy again. I'm
like, oh my God. I get in the car, the fucking car won't go in reverse. So I go, oh my God, I can't figure this out. I don't know where the addresses is. I got to put my GPS. I can't get my car, so I got to go over the area. And go, yeah, can you just reassign, please? And then I got to call the boss, like, yo, my car is out of service right now. Can you just maybe send a tow truck? Luckily, Brian has a buddy who's a mechanic, comes over, gets the car working. I get back in service, and I'm like, show me back on the call. I'm coming. I go there, and then I go, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do right now. I was like, things have changed so much. I'm like thinking about the body camera. I'm thinking about the computer. Do I got to tell them 3-6? Do I got to write the report? Wait, it's not my call. It's their call. It was just a slew of things.
The problem is that since you left patrol, we had a system where we would process an arrest. That's not the system we process arrests.
Nope.
We had a system where we used to do our reports. That's not there
not
anymore.
The same system.
We had memo books, like actual leather memo books, where we used to have in our back pockets.
No more.
That wasn't a thing anymore. Everything you knew had changed since you left patrol. So you come out of being far removed from patrol for 6 years, and then they toss you into a car right away, day one, and you're like a deer in headlights.
They were like, bro,
do
not do that to that guy. And I was like,
what is happening?
I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke too.
I was like, shit, I'm really going on patrol today? Like, I don't know. All right, great, I'm going. I was like,
but you did great.
Everything worked out. Everything worked. It usually does. Usually everything works out.
I think we put more pressure on ourselves because, like I said, it was like I had it was nerve-wracking coming back to patrol, leaving highway. Like I said, I was in a good spot in highway, great bosses, great schedule. There was no reason for me to leave. And just like you, I started getting text messages like, why in the hell would you go back to patrol? Why are you going back? I miss it. I miss doing things. I miss helping people. I miss being on patrol.
Different capacity.
Different things. We were doing different things in highway, and being on patrol is a little more fulfilling for me right now.
A little fulfilling.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're in a good spot, man. Honestly, I do think that we've had a lot of blessings this year. Between, at least for me, I've had my son. My daughter's getting so much bigger. I got a job I've been waiting for a while. My wife and I are doing great. Everything's just kind of fallen, into place. And of course, I'm looking forward to next year and the next year after that and what's coming after that. But I did have to kind of bring myself back down to earth to go, hey, you know what? Like, patience, man. It's a virtue. Like, trying to figure out how to calm yourself in the storm is probably one of the most important things I would say that has benefited you and I, especially you, kind of leading the way for us, is just sitting with the uncomfortable feeling, right? That something needs to be done right now. Like you said, I'm not in the mood. I don't feel like really doing this. I'm just going to wait it out. And then you're like, you know what? I feel okay now. Let's do it now. So I always recommend, like, you don't have to skip out on everything you want to do or sit at home and wait for something to happen. Like, there's plenty of times I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm feeling anxious. My anxiety is already kicking in. Like, and as soon as you do that, you're letting your body know, like, hey, something's wrong. Instead of going, okay, no problem. It'll pass.
It's so funny because I feel like you and I think when we work, we're very happy people. We're always smiling. We're always laughing, talking to people, trying to socialize. And I'm wondering if people like listen to us or maybe watch us on YouTube or maybe on TikTok when we put up
think we're full
little reels. No, if I'm wondering if people are like, what do you mean you felt down? Like you don't feel like yourself? Because when we're at work, we're always smiling. We're always doing things. We're very outgoing. But then it gets to the point where I get home and I'm like that here too. Like, I'm always smiling. I'm always cracking jokes with my daughters, always playing around with the wife and everything. But it gets to a point where I'm just like, I don't feel it right now.
Yeah.
It could catch me at work. It could catch me at home. It could catch me anywhere.
That is, I think, the scariest part. That was one of the first things that scared me about all this, in the beginning, the anxiety and like the seasonal depression or whatever it is that we feel at times. I felt it. You called it out. That time when you were like, yeah, you don't really look like yourself. That smile isn't real. And then I looked into myself in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, somebody else noticed it. Does everybody know that I'm not feeling good? Can everybody tell that and then you get a little paranoid. You're like,
I don't know that everyone would have noticed. I think someone that
knows
that had been, one, that knows you, two, that had been through something similar where they know that they're just faking it till they make it. You know, fake it till you make it kind of deal. So I think somebody that had already been through a similar situation or a similar funk, or just knows you and sees you and sees the smile that you had on you. It's just like.
But I think I was fucking lying to myself the whole time, because
100%.
I knew that I didn't feel right, but I was trying to pretend. Listen, there's a difference between pretending that you're okay and not knowing you're not okay. I knew I wasn't okay. I knew something was going on. I knew I was like a little anxious or something was going on.
But you didn't know what it was.
But I didn't know what it was. So I was like, all right, I'm going to pretend that's not even there. Pretending and accepting are two completely different things. And I've learned that this last couple of years. I pretended that things were okay and they weren't. And the right people noticed and called it out. And I got the help I needed. Versus now, when I know that I'm not feeling okay, like you said, I come home and you've given so much energy. Dude, energy is real, man. I didn't really believe that. Energy is real. And I remember people saying you give too much energy to people that don't matter. And I'm like, no, I don't. But you don't realize it.
I used to tell you all the time.
You don't realize that. You're like, I don't really have fucking time for you today.
Yeah.
I just cannot with you today. It really, I'll be honest, it started a lot in my relationship. Like when you're fighting with a spouse or a girlfriend or a wife or a friend or a kid, and you're like, you know what? Not right now. And that is a sign of growth. Like, respectfully, if you can do that respectfully by going, I can't do this right now. Like,
I think that's the biggest thing, is respectfully.
Respect.
Because I don't know that I had that in me. And I feel like over the last few years, I'm starting to do it more respectful. Because at the end of the day, it's not anybody's fault. Whatever I'm feeling, it's not your fault. So I can't put what I'm feeling on you and take it out on you. So, like, again, today, you're like, hey, what are we doing? And I'm like, I don't feel like it. I could have been a dick, like, yo, bro, I don't fucking want to do this shit today. Like, and I really felt that's how I felt.
But did I
in my mind? No, not at all.
But would the old me have pressed you?
Yeah,
come on, bro, let's go, let's do it. Come on, bro, let's go.
You're like, all right, well, let me know, if you feel better later. And I was like, you know what, just come over, man.
That might have been the reason why you did that, because I didn't pressure you. I feel like you didn't feel any pressure, and you were like, bring a pizza on the way too. And I'm like, all right, no problem, I'll bring a pizza. You know that. But I think that recognizing when you're not feeling yourself, a lot of his exhaustion. We just watched that video. The guy was like, sometimes it's not really anxiety or depression, it's you're dehydrated. And I'm like, and then
you need to eat vegetables.
and you need vegetables. And I was like,
what about when you drink a shit ton of water?
I didn't drink a lot of water today. I was like, wait, I had my BCAAs and my creatine this morning. And then I didn't have shells, and I started laughing. I was like, damn, I haven't drank any water today, which is why I've been guzzling water, because I'm like, maybe that's why you start feeling a little tingly, a little uncomfortable. I drank a lot of water, so. And you still felt like that?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
so
I drank a lot of water.
It may vary.
Yeah.
Mood swings may vary.
Yeah, no, I drink water. It's, again, you just, funny, because people ask, like, what brings it on? Like, have you noticed that,
the trigger,
like what triggers it? Right. What happens? Is there anything leading up to it? And no, there's nothing.
Sometimes
for me, there's absolutely nothing. I got up this morning. I sat down. I made breakfast. Yeah, I made breakfast. I sat down. I started watching Game of Thrones that I'm watching again. I'm on season 7 now.
I'm
rewatching it, so hit me up if you have some insight. I'm on season 7, episode 5 right now.
How many minutes in? Because I saw you was playing when I got here.
That was 45 minutes into that episode. But, it just, that's all I did the whole day. I did laundry. I folded the laundry, and I just...
Yeah, but you need those days, bro. Like, you need those days. Sometimes you feel like...
From that. I moved. Actually, I told you, I took a shower. So I went upstairs, and I was like, let me take a shower. Like, I feel fucking dirty. I need to clean up. Ass. Yeah, I need to clean up. And, just trying to, like, wash it away, like, the energy away. I got back to the couch. I went back to watching up until you called me. I was
some of the therapists that I've listened to in podcasts or talked to, or even art therapists and whatnot, I've asked them, I was like, what do you think about meditation or deep breathing? They go, the reality is this, is those things are maintenance, right? Meditation, yoga, the gym, all that stuff is for maintenance. It will make you feel better 100%, but it's not going to take away depression and anxiety completely. Depression, anxiety, fear, all these emotions are all natural, right? And when they come on, instead of going, oh my God, I got to get rid of these, you just let them be there. And if working out helps you, then go work out. If doing yoga helps you, then go do yoga.
Yep.
If meditating helps you, then do meditation. But my biggest problem is, and again, this is a conversation for another day because I want to wrap this up in a minute.
Oh, we're not wrapping shit up yet.
The marijuana and the drugs and the drinking. that is one thing that I don't know that I completely agree with, because the older I get now, the more that I realize these neuroscientists are saying that like THC levels and alcohol and drugs are actually making things worse. So when I hear somebody go, bro, I'm anxious, fuck, I gotta smoke a cigarette, I gotta smoke some weed, I'm gonna do a line of coke, like, bro, like, I think that's making it worse. I'm no doctor, I'm no mental health expert, but do you see, like, at least if those things, the yoga, the meditation, the gym, the drinking water, the eating broccoli, whatever that guy was saying, at least that's not hurting your body. It's like something that might be helping you, you know, in long term. Versus a lot of things that we were doing at one point, the drinking heavily, the smoking marijuana, the smoking cigarettes. Like, I think that stuff's not going to help you in the long run. But who the fuck am I to judge when I drink Coca-Cola and eat candy? You know, maybe that's going to kill me before weed kills you, kind of thing, you know? So for me, I don't really have the answer, but sometimes I think, like you just said, those rest days, sitting on the couch, just doing a little low maintenance, taking a shower, taking a bath, doing a little laundry does essentially make you feel a little bit better. Yeah. You know, maybe some people listening can kind of chime in later on our Instagram.
Take your damn mind, like,
let us know what you do.
Damn mind off of it, you know, like for whatever amount of time. And let the record show, I've never done weed or any drugs, actually, for that matter.
Me neither.
But yeah, I've never done it. But I know I do hear people talking about, like, oh, when I smoke weed, like, it calms me down. Hey, listen, if that's what you do, good on you. Hopefully, at some point, you'll find a healthier thing to do. I'm not saying that weed is not healthy. I don't know. I don't know the effects of weed. I don't know what it does or what it doesn't do.
There's so many mixed reviews, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're mixing shit with other stuff these days. It's not like the marijuana Bob Marley was smoking. You know, some shit out in the fields where you grab it from the plant, you roll it up in a little paper.
Well, now you could grow it.
What?
Legally.
Well,
like legally, you can grow it now.
I mean, Uruguay, fun fact, the country I'm from, Uruguay,
here we go,
was the first country in the world to legalize marijuana. Who knew?
Wow.
Who knew?
Great fucking achievement.
It's not what you would think.
Uruguay. You're gay. I mean, Uruguay. Great achievement, man. Good on you. Good on you for legalizing weed. First.
First. You ain't first or last.
All right, there, Christopher Columbus.
But actually, more like Talladega Nights, Will Ferrell.
But yeah, I mean, I get it, bro. Like I said, if that's your vice, and your vice is something that helps you with, like I said, weed, or because I have heard a lot of people that have done it or do it, that it helps them, right? Yeah. It calms them down, and cool, mellow, cool, calm, collected, like good. Hopefully they find something healthier. If you don't find something healthier and weed is what's helping you, shit, just do it responsibly. You know, like don't smoke and drive. Yeah. Or like it's kind of like the same shit. Like don't drink and drive. Don't smoke and drive. It's just literally the same thing. You get the same charge. There's still a DWI charge. There's a DWI drugs. You know, like don't do it. If you gotta smoke in your house, backyard. Like don't do it while you're driving, because if you get into an accident, you kill somebody. That's not the way you want to go to jail for. You know.
I don't know about you, but I'm happy we got on here to talk. You know, number one, I feel like it's a little bit of therapy for both of us, all three of us, when Chris is around. But more so, like just seeing how many people relate. You know, because that whole "you're not alone" thing, talk about it. The slogan we kind of started using here was really like the base of why I really enjoy doing this, and I think a lot of people were joining. So, you know, I really hope that kind of chit chat and recording today gave you a little bit of hope.
Oh, hold on. I got something for you.
You got something else?
I got something else.
Guys,
we're not done.
Wait, there's more.
So this year, about a month ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I would say, there's a New York team that has been the worst team in New York for, I would say, the past 10, 15, 20 years. The New York Jets. The New York Jets did about the greatest thing they could have done in the past 20 years. Just this year, even though their record sucks, and I knew they were going to lose, but they gave you a great recognition.
Yeah, man.
They brought you down to the field, and
cool.
They recognized you for being the service member of the day. And I could tell you, for you Jets fans, boy, wasn't that the greatest thing they've done in the last 20 years, at least. Holy shit, they suck. But hey, what they did for Matias was the best thing ever. I'm glad they did it for you,
that
brother.
Was cool, man.
How did that make you feel? Talk about it.
Nah, it was cool, man. It was definitely cool. I mean, I've gotten to do a lot of cool stuff like that because of, you know, the organizations that I've become a part of. They They try to recognize veterans at games, whether it's a basketball game or a baseball game. I mean, there was like 87,000 people that day. You know, I don't think I've ever been in a stadium where 87,000 pair of eyes were locked in on me, you know, and honoring me. Like, you know me, I don't really care anymore about that stuff. Like, it's nice to have accolades and moments like that. But because I've had so many moments where I've been recognized, I just want to use that time to, number one, give thanks to God, number one. Number two, bring other veterans to that platform, because I feel like they all deserve it. Anytime we've done something together, or I brought another veteran like Dario to a game, or, you know, or Diz to a game, or whatever it is that we're all doing, it's like, man, I really want you guys to feel what this moment feels like, because you deserve it just as much as I do. So what I want to do with our podcast, you know, throughout the years, is start bringing on people that we can honor. It's not always just talking about trauma and your worst day. It's like, this is a way that we can honor people by bringing them on, telling them stories, saying thank you, letting other people hear their stories of overcoming, you know, adversities and challenges and whatever else. And that, to me, is like the reward in itself. You know, you feel good that, number one, you're not alone, that there's many people that go through this, and it really reflects a great conversation. I had an amazing conversation the other day, and Matt Hiller came for the Marine Corps birthday, and Rob from our class and his father were there, both recon Marines, and like I think Beirut was his dad, and he was in Afghanistan and stuff, I think, right? Iraq, Afghanistan, or around that time frame. And we were talking about God. I don't know how the topic of God come up, but growing up, the three things you don't talk about in the dinner table: politics,
money, religion. Yep.
Right. And I said, you know what? I won't talk about politics because I don't really give a shit. Okay.
Makes two of us.
I don't really have money, so we don't need to talk about money. But now I will talk about religion, because I feel like that is my foundation. And a lot of people ask, you know, I've even had like Stafford. Stafford said he'd come on to the podcast. I'm hoping to get him on soon. But he goes, Matty, like, I want to get into religion, but I don't know how. I'm like, it's not about religion, brother. It's about your connection with God. It's your connection with what you think is your maker, who created you. Mine happens to be Jesus Christ. Right? He came on this earth. He died for our sins. And that's what I believe. Period. You can't break me from that. Right? Your prediction or thought or imagination of whatever you think God may be, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and try to change your opinion. But we got to talking about stuff, and Matt sat down and Rob asked me, like, well, you can get to heaven by being a good person. And I was like, no, you can't. You can't get to heaven by being a good person. You know, I said, define what a good person is. You fucking going out there and giving some homeless veteran $1 is not being a good person, right? Or, you know, doing something nice in the world is not being a good person, because we're all fucked up. All of us are sinners. You know, we're all messed up. And from my understanding, from the years that I've studied or done anything with faith, has always been the only thing you got to do to get to heaven is believe in God. Believe that Jesus is the Son of God. He died for our sins, and that's how you go to heaven. But Matias, well, what about being baptized? I was like, look at the stories, bro. Look at the two thieves on the cross.
Actually, remember I hit you up about that, about the baptism.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because I was confused.
We spoke about
for my son.
Maddie.
Yeah, for Maddie.
We spoke about baptizing Maddie, and I told you, I go, when Jesus was on the cross, and the one thief to his side said, "Hey, remember me when you get to your father." What was Jesus' word? You're coming with me.
You're coming. You'll be there. You'll be there.
That person was not baptized.
Yeah.
And that person got to heaven. So you don't have to be baptized. There is nowhere in the scripture where it says you have to be baptized to get to heaven. There's not a single place. Yes, it washes away your sins, which is what it's supposed to symbolize, but it's not a necessity. You don't have to be baptized to get to heaven. You could get to heaven without being baptized.
Right.
And we spoke about that.
And we spoke about that. And that may not be the 100% truth. It's our truth, but it may not be the 100% truth. And I won't disagree with people if they have different opinions.
Yeah, of course.
But to me, when I heard the moment in time when Jesus told John the Baptist, right, that you're going to baptize me with water, but the rest of you will be baptized by the Holy Spirit, okay, is a completely different thing. And to me, like, when I chose to be baptized, I was born Catholic, raised, you know, non-denominational, like Christian, Baptist or community church type of Christian, that's one of the biggest things the pastor said is like, you do not need to do A, B, and C. You need to accept Jesus into your life. And the next step, because the steps is not just like, here we are, it's growing your faith, is getting to know the Lord. What did Jesus say? He goes, you can't just, it's like, and Matt used this analogy, and I want to use it because I really liked it. Imagine if there was 1 million zombies outside of your house. Are you just going to let anybody into your house?
He would use that shit.
Well, of course he did. But would you let everybody into your house?
No.
Okay. Would you let me into your house?
Do I look like Joe Biden? No.
Joe Biden kept me in the streets. Would you let me into your house?
No.
You wouldn't let me in?
No.
Why?
Because I don't trust you.
That's fucked up. Just say yes, all right?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll let you in.
Great.
Because I know
you.
you.
All right, great. So I'm in. Thank you. Jesus, he let me in. So now you let me in. Why? Because we spend time together. We spent the last 10 years getting to know each other, and we're there for each other, and we back each other up, and we're there for our kids' birthdays, and we have a lot in common, and, we continue to move our relationship along. But Jesus will say, I don't know you. If you didn't go to him, if you didn't build your relationship, if you didn't read the Bible, if you didn't get baptized, if you didn't pray to him, if you didn't talk and communicate with him, he's going to deny you. He's going to be like, I don't know you.
Matt Hiller used this?
Bro.
Stop it.
Matt's got his shit together.
I know that.
He's really good. We should definitely have him on here.
I don't know he could say smart stuff like that.
Oh, he could say a lot of smart stuff. I'll make sure to drop a pin. How many minutes we got on right
now? 51.
51. I'm going to make sure to mark 51 minutes and let him listen to this part. So say whatever you got to say to Matt.
I'm impressed.
So we're bringing you on. This is your request.
If what you just said came out of Matt Hiller's mouth, I'm impressed.
No, I mean, he does. And he's very good. If he's good with anything, it's definitely the knowledge he's got on the Bible and what it means to him. Again, different interpretations. But he said that to Rob.
That's the thing about the Bible. It's open for interpretation. That's why there's different religions that it's very open to interpretation.
It is. But I mean, I definitely have enjoyed reading the Bible this year. I think I'm in 340 days or something like that. I'm closing in on the year mark, that thing I did on the Bible app. And it's been incredible. I've learned so much, that I didn't know. And I think that one of the things that I'd like to leave with is that I've grown because I've learned what's important in life. And recently, in the new position that I'm in, I had a great opportunity to have this conversation with somebody that they brought up, and I was able to just talk about it. She goes, I'm 77. I just lost my husband. God punished me. And I go, if I've learned anything about punishment and God and how we put things on him, is the fact that when we lose sight of what's important in our lives, which is the connection with Jesus, and we focus on anybody else, we're going to be let down. You're going to let me down. I'm going to let you down in whatever capacity.
That comes with expectations. You expect too much from people.
We will be let down. He will never let you down, ever. So when you start doing this, he punished me because my dad died. Hey, all of our dads are going to die. When my mom died, our mom's going to die. Kids have cancer. It's part of it. It's part of life. And they're like, God will only give you what you can handle. Bro, go read that book. Read the Bible. There's hundreds of characters in there that have faced horrible shit in there. This book was already written. When did your expectations, like you just said, ever been you're going to live a beautiful life and no one's going to ever die in your life and the kids aren't going to have cancer and this person's going to die young from a car accident and this kid is going to overdose or this kid's going to not get shot on drive-by? Like, where did it ever say that? So if our expectations in life are that, God should do better, why would God let that happen? You're asking the wrong questions. I don't think he does it. I don't think he minds that you ask those questions.
Yeah.
I just think you're coming about him the wrong way. And that was me. I did.
In the Spanish culture, I think from when you're very young, you know exactly what to expect because there's a saying that translates to in English is that you're born, you grow up, you reproduce, you die. Literally, you're born, you grow.
Do you remember what I said in Spanish?
You die. Uno nace, crece, se reproduce y muere. Wow. So in the Spanish culture, that's
you should do a song about that.
You know exactly what's gonna happen, right? Like no matter. Like you said, you had never been promised that people weren't going to die around you, that
or get
sick, or things are going to happen. That's written.
I genuinely believe those things are what are supposed to bring you closer to God, or at least put your focus on Him.
Yeah.
God, why are you doing this? Why is this happening to me? why me? Like, that might just be a way that you get isolated to have to come to him. Bro, you remember when I was going through the anxiety shit, I was like, God, please, God, I hadn't prayed to God in years. I was like, thank you for the food. I never sang grace. I never did anything. I was far removed from Christ. I was embarrassed. But Megan one day told me that when I said, hey, can we start doing stuff together, like going to church stuff? She's like, I would love to, but I just want to know. I want it to be known, like, you never talked about God when we first met. And I go, why the fuck do you think our relationship was so shitty in the beginning? That we fought, we argued, and we disagreed, and the insecurities were crazy, and the drinking was bad. And now look at us. We tried to get pregnant for so long, we couldn't. I started praying. I started praying with her. I started going to church with her. We started watching from the couch. We found a community. Like, we started talking about these things. And all of a sudden we get pregnant. And we have a kid. Yeah. And I get transferred to the unit I want to. Like, come on, bro. Like, yes, you can be that negative Nancy and say, nah, that wasn't God. Bro, I believe that truly in my heart. That was all God's will.
It's what you believe. Because I can tell you, we focus the negative things. We say, oh, why are you testing me? Why are you doing this to me, right? We point to the sky and we're like, why is God testing me? Why is God doing this to me? Why me? Why me? But what happens when good things happen? A lot of people don't say, hey, thank you for what you just did for me, right? We seem to point up when things are not going our way. But when things are going our way, we seem to forget who's doing it.
I did this. I did that. I put in the work. I earned it. Bro.
So,
stop it.
Again, it was great recording today. I think we needed to get an episode out there.
You feel better?
I feel better. Yeah, I needed, I told you, I'd come over and we'll try.
Are you rejuvenated?
I wouldn't say I'm rejuvenated, but I feel better. I feel better. We got to talk about things, and we got to do an episode. Hopefully, next time we record, we'll have somebody over and do a guest. Hopefully, Chris can make the next one. And like we said at the beginning, Chris is going to be jumping in and out. Sometimes Matias is going to be jumping in and out. Sometimes I may be jumping in and out. So just get used to the new format. This is the new format. This is the new Another Cots Mentality podcast.
Woo!